Have you been looking into flying cars and thinking to yourself, these all look too practical, prioritizing function over form? Well, enter the Ace VTOL GT Slipstream Elite, the flying supercar of your dreams. Hey, I'm Creech and this is Creech and Cars, where I talk about car news, history, and culture, and occasionally flying cars, which is what I have for you today. The GT Slipstream and Slipstream Elite are a pair of similar VTOLs from Ace, an Australia-based company, and the first thing that stands out with the Slipstream is its symmetry. Of course, it has the normal side-to-side symmetry that you would expect of a car, but it's also fairly difficult to tell the front from the back with the symmetrical placement of the propellers, one in each corner. This also brings out the fact that the Slipstream is very rectangular, although still sporty. There is a quick way to tell the front from the back, which is the triangular roof with a steeply sloping windshield. These hard geometric lines dominate this design, and that gives the Slipstream something of a retro muscle car look to it, which is exactly what the designers were going for, although it's obviously never going to be mixed up with a normal car. It still has that hint of muscle to it. Up front and out back, there is this horseshoe style grille design that is reminiscent of the classic Bugatti grille design. The scissor doors provide access to a small cabin that's a mix of helicopter and supercar, probably mostly helicopter. As you can see, the Slipstream is largely constructed of carbon fiber, which is exposed in the cabin. The driver and passenger are separated by a tall ridge that I assume is necessary for the structural rigidity of the vehicle. The seats are thin and don't look very comfortable, but supercars aren't very comfortable either. The driver gets a large digital gauge cluster and a joystick control in addition to these normal looking floor pedals. Other than that, it is pretty bare bones in here, as saving weight is a huge priority with any VTOL. Let's dig a little more into what makes the Slipstream go. If you couldn't tell already, the Slipstream is a little more experimental than some other flying cars and VTOLs, but Ace has put out quite a bit of information on this model. The Slipstream is constructed of a carbon fiber monocoque, as you might have figured out by now, and it has a canopy style windshield. Underneath all of that are 12 electric motors that power the 4 arc reaction engine propellers. This is also called an arc jet engine. The Slipstream can be had with a lithium-ion battery, or it can use hydrogen fuel cells. Ace has also made safety a major priority, and these propellers have 3 stages of redundancy to protect against failures. Obviously, nothing worse than your engine stalling out when you're a few thousand feet in the air. And akin to a tight handling tuned suspension in a sports car, Ace says the 4 propellers provide for precise movement and make it easy to maneuver through tight spaces. The Slipstream can also be piloted remotely, similar to current UAVs. The landing gear is a retractable quadricycle strut system. As for range, Ace claims that with 2 passengers, the battery version can travel about 125 miles on a single charge, while the hydrogen fuel cell version doubles that to 250 miles. Both versions, however, can reach the same top speed of about 270 miles per hour. So this all seems too good to be true, at least for now. But surprisingly, Ace does have a firm order in place for 100 units of the Slipstream from a company called Aero Auto. Each Slipstream runs about $2.5 million, and the Slipstreams are scheduled to be delivered by 2040. So that projected date does make this all seem a bit fake, to put it bluntly, but Ace does have another model called the Trinity that could hit the market by 2028, so a little more reasonable. And you can tell by looking at that model, it's a little more reasonable and feasible. All in all, my current position on the proposition of flying cars is this. The technology is perhaps closer than you think, largely because these VTOL flying cars aren't really that crazy. I've kind of gone into more detail on that before. However, maybe this one is crazy, but there still are some very real contenders to make a production flying car in the near future. Still, even with this perfect finished product, the greater challenge when it comes to flying cars is the process of laying out a highway in the skies where thousands of these could fly around in a safe and orderly manner. And until that part gets figured out, this is just a dream. Let me know if you want to see more videos about flying cars in the future, but I'll probably get back to the normal car content for a little while. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.